Okay, let's have a look. Yeah. Hello, hello, everything's fine. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's working. All right, let's try to share. Let's have a look. All right, let's share. Okay, it's working. So I'm gonna open here. It's working. Okay. It's here. The assessment checklist. Right. Right. Done. Let's see if the video is working. Yes. And the feedback. She's done. Okay. Okay, the feedback. It's here. All right. All right. Done. All right. So everything's fine. This one. Let's see. 4-point. It's working. Able to see everything, the picture, the principles. Let's see the viewer working. Yes. The next one. Yes. Yes. And save. Save. Working. Activities. Identify safe and unsafe techniques activities. The pictures. And then thank you. All right. It's fine. Okay, I think these ones are working. Let's see. Let's see if the schedule is working. It's working. Change reaction. Let's see. Okay. Right. Let's see if I want to use here. Right. Okay. Maybe verify. Let's come back. This one to share your screen with both. Yes. All right. All right. I think everything's working. Okay, I think we need to wait the participants to come. I make some notes. So, video just going to close. I'm going to come back. Okay. It's working. Reaction work. Share is working. Meeting information. What they have here. Okay, everything I need to know. Apps. Set combination. All right. Let's wait the other ones. Everything's working. Right. Let's have a look here. there. I think they are coming soon. Okay, here, 100. Luis, let's connect. Okay.
Como é que foi a festa ontem, Jamile? Foi boa?
Okay, now. So
Oh,
now
sorry.
we're gonna start our class. Hello, guys, everyone.
Hello.
Oh yeah. So yeah, put in your mood now. Luis, please. You're gonna start the class. Yes. So welcome again. So today we're gonna start our section 2. We're gonna talk about manual handling. So we talk last session we talked about online learning and how you're gonna use the platform, how you're gonna access your materials and gonna do your assessments. And so today we're gonna do a little bit different things and also you're gonna use again the platform, okay? So I want to make sure if everything is working. So Jamal, could you tell me if you can hear me and see me? So you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, everything works fine here.
okay. Thank you, Jamayo. And Helpso, could you tell me if your microphone and your audio are okay?
Yeah, it's all working.
Okay. And you, Luis, could you tell me if everything is fine?
Yeah, I can see you and hear very well.
Okay. Thanks so much, guys. So now I will share my screen. And then I put here. All right, I can see you guys and I put a little bit more to this side. All right. So as I told you, so you're gonna talk a little bit more about manual handling. And if you have any question, please only put your hands up, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more or discuss a little bit more about your question, okay? So, oops, it's not here, it's down here. So today our goal is to help you understand a little bit more about the safe manual handling techniques, which are important for reducing injuries in your physical work, okay? I know we have different professions here, but every single one needs to perform manual handling to do your tasks. Even in your daily tasks at home, you have to use safe manual handling techniques, okay, to prevent any kind of injuries in your body. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So first of all, I think you need to know what's mean manual handling. So manual handling, it's any activity that requires you to use your force to push, to pull, to lift, to carry, and everything, any person, animal, or thing. So as I told you now, every single thing you need to do in your life, you have to use the manual handling. Otherwise, you can start to feel some parts that you didn't realize that you really have. And then maybe you can develop or suffer something in your body. It's not good for you, and maybe can injuries or even get worse things in your body. But let's talk a little bit more later about this. So it's only a little meaning about what we're gonna talk today. But why it's so important to talk about this? Because if you perform some unsafe manual handling techniques, you can cause some things in your body. You can cause like injuries in your body, and for sure it can affect your quality of life, especially. So, what kind of injuries, you can ask me, can I now have in my body if I performed like unsafe techniques? So mainly you can have something in your back or injuries in your shoulders or any other parts of your body, but mainly shoulders and back. And to be aware and prevent those injuries, you need to know a little bit more about your body. So let's talk and see some pictures. Maybe you can have a little bit more notions that I will talk right now. Can you see the picture here, darlings? It's our spine. So as you can see, our spine is very important because it's a structure in our body that gives us a stable base for our limbs, upper limbs, lower limbs, to move, to do whatever you want to do, tasks or sports or what else. So in our spine here, you can see you have curves. So it's a cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine. And it's normal, okay? When you need to perform these techniques, the manual handling techniques, the safe ones, you must keep these curves. You must keep your spine in a neutral position. If you try to straighten your body or bend too much your back, you have more risk to develop some injuries in your back or other parts of your body. Okay, so you need to make sure you need to keep your spine in a neutral position. But then, guys, you can ask me, okay, Juliana, but how can now use other parts of your body to keep my spine in a neutral position? I will tell you right now, right here. So then next part, it's our muscles. We have special muscles around our waist. And then you can see here in this picture. So it's the core muscles, especially the abdominal muscles. If you engage these muscles when you need to perform your tasks, you're going to be able to keep your spine in a neutral position. and less risk of injuries, especially in your back. So let's try to engage these muscles, okay? So try to breathe normally through your nose and mouth. Then, when you exhale through your mouth, try to draw your belly button towards your spine. And then keep it breathing. So you're gonna feel these muscles, the special muscles in your abdomen, in your belly, in your belly part. So when you need to perform these tasks, try to do this. Try to connect these muscles, connect the core muscles, and then you're gonna be able to keep your spine even more neutral in a good position and having less risk of injuries. All right? And other things you need to keep in your mind as well. Not only connect these special muscles, but also you need to make sure that the first of all, as I told you before, we need to keep our spine in neutral position. I'm going to move this. The other point is good for us is to keep our feet wide apart. Because when you keep your feet a little bit more hips apart, you have more base of support. When you have more base of support, it's easy for you to connect these muscles, okay? And then keeping your spine in a neutral position. The other point is bend your hips and knees. When you need to perform tasks, for example, pick up something from the floor, or even a heavy box, is better not bend, no, use mainly your back. So it's better to use more your hips and knees because your legs are stronger than your arms, than your back. So use them, and then you're gonna be able to connect better the muscles in your core and also to keep your spine in a neutral position. So you need to avoid, the weird position or weird movements in your back to minimize the risk. And keep everything close to your body. So I will give you an example, guys. If you need to hold a baby at like an arm's length for, I don't know how long. So what do you think? How long you can hold a baby like this in front of you? You can tell me, guys. You can talk to me now.
Few seconds only, I guess.
Yeah, few seconds, for sure. But if you hold a baby close to your body,
Easier.
maybe hours, no? We have to do this. So the same as apply for this here. If you keep everything close to your body, it will be easy for you to deal with, okay? So keep everything in your body, and then you're gonna be able to keep your spine in a neutral position, connect your belly muscles, and perform these tasks and prevent some injuries in your body. Again, connect your core, use your legs, as I told you, so the legs are stronger than your arms and the back. Push rather than pull, because when you push, you use more your legs than your arms. When you pull, you use more arms than the legs. So if the legs are stronger than arms, it's better to push rather than pull. And safe working heights at all times. So try to avoid, overhead or too low positions, and then you can avoid some weird position in your back and also with your shoulders, and prevent some injuries in your body. All right, guys. Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Just a few information.
So far, so good.
A few information about the manual handling. And now you're gonna go through 3 short videos about a safe manual handling techniques. Okay, so let's go and watch the videos. And then you're gonna talk when you finish these 3 videos. Let's go.
When moving a resident up the bed, it is always a good idea to place a pillow at the headboard to prevent inadvertent injury. Both caregivers should hold the top slide sheet close to the resident's body at the upper thigh and shoulder level. The caregiver's front foot should face the direction of movement, towards the head end of the bed. Ensuring good communication, the caregiver should then move the resident up the bed. Do this with a sliding movement. Do not be tempted to lift the slide sheet. If the resident can participate in the movement, fold the slide sheets away from their lower legs and ask them to push themselves up the bed, bending their legs and using their feet. If the bed has a Trendelenburg functionality, you can use it to reduce the manual handling effort required when moving a person up the bed.
All right, let's go to the second one, guys.
Slide sheets can be used to assist in rolling a resident onto their side. Position the slide sheets using one of the methods already shown and ensure that there is enough space to carry out the roll safely. Bend the knee, then using body weight, the caregiver should bring the resident towards them and roll them. Always ensure that there is another caregiver on the opposite side of the bed to prevent an accidental fall. Use positioning aids as assessed and as required to maintain this new position.
Okay, and then the final one.
Hello, and welcome to UCI Health's Rehabilitation Services. In this video, we will demonstrate the correct form and procedures for safely transferring a patient from the bed to the wheelchair. However, these principles and techniques can be applied to other objects or places, including chairs, commodes, cars, showers, or tub benches. Prior to moving the patient, prepare the room and transfer surface. Clear all unnecessary materials that may pose a trip hazard. It is important to have a flat and clean surface to reduce the risk of slipping or tripping. We recommend that rugs be removed throughout the house to prevent tripping. Move all sheets, blankets, and pillows away from the patient to ensure a clear space for movement and to avoid any interference during bed mobility or the transfer. It is important to have the transfer surface, in this case a wheelchair, as close to the bed as possible. This reduces the risk of falling because it is less distance to travel and takes less effort. A 45-degree angle between the edge of the bed and the wheelchair is ideal to minimize the distance traveled between surfaces. If the patient has a weak side, position the wheelchair on the patient's strong side. Apply the brakes on the wheelchair so that it does not roll away, and make sure the wheelchair's casters are rotated backwards so they are not a tripping hazard. Then, remove the armrest to provide a clear path for the transfer. When you're ready to move the patient, bend the patient's knees up in preparation to roll them from their back to their side. This leg position will assist in the roll as the momentum from moving their legs to the side will subsequently move their torso to the side. Position yourself on the side of the bed that the patient is moving toward to best assist the patient and prevent them from falling off the bed. During bed mobility and transfers, keep your back locked in an upright, straight position at all times. To get low, bend at the knees and lower your hips to the ground. This will protect your back from injury. In addition to moving the patient's legs, assist the patient in rolling from their back to their side by placing one hand at the shoulder and the other at the hip. The patient can also assist by reaching across their body toward the edge of the bed with the arm opposite the side of the bed they are rolling toward. Next, assist the patient to lower their legs off the edge of the bed. If possible, the patient can sit up on the bed by pushing off with both arms. If the patient needs assistance in sitting up, you can stabilize the patient's hip while simultaneously lifting at their shoulder. Again, maintain a straight back and bend at the knees to avoid straining your back. If the patient is able, they should lean forward and move their hips closer to the edge of the bed. If assistance is needed, you can facilitate this by moving the patient's hips, shifting them one at a time. Shift the patient forward until their feet are placed firmly on the floor. If a gait belt is available, it should be placed low and tight around the patient's hips. It's recommended to tuck in excess slack on the gait belt to avoid getting caught during transfer. The patient and caregiver should both use proper footwear. Be sure to choose footwear that provides stable support and tread to limit slipping. One of the patient's legs should be positioned between your legs. This allows you to squeeze the patient's leg between your own. This serves as another point of control while transferring. At this point, the patient can lean forward to shift their weight forward. If the patient is able, they can reach for the nearest armrest on the wheelchair with one hand, while pushing off the bed with the other to assist you with the transfer. Hold on to the gait belt at both sides of the patient's hips to serve as a point of control for leverage during the transfer. The patient should avoid holding on to you, as this may cause injury. As the patient leans forward, hold on to the gait belt and lean backward to leverage the patient up off the edge of the bed. Stagger your feet with one behind the other to receive the weight of the patient and maintain their own balance. As the patient clears the edge of the bed, pivot the patient toward the seat of the wheelchair, guiding the patient at the hips using the gait belt. Pivot your body along with the patient during the transfer. Do not simply twist your waist, as that could lead to injury. Before lowering the patient into the wheelchair, the back of their legs should be in contact with the seat. This will ensure the patient is lowered adequately into the seat and not too close to the edge where they may be at risk for falling off. Once the patient is in line with the seat of the wheelchair, bend your knees and squat to lower the patient into the seat, guiding at the hips with the gait belt. Thank you for watching this video on safely transferring a patient from the bed to the wheelchair.
Okay, guys, so these 3 videos we have seen right now is the correct way to move someone in bed or to a chair, okay? So now you're gonna watch another video which shows unsafe techniques. So try to make a note that's what's wrong, okay? Then you're gonna discuss things. Are you ready? Let's go.
The first technique, the drag lift, is still most often seen where service users are being moved. The carers put their arms through the service users and under their shoulders from either directions. Blocking both feet and knees prevents the service user from standing properly. The service user then stands taking her weight through her shoulders. The drag lift always puts the carers in a compromising body position and therefore at risk of injury. Having all their weight going through their shoulders makes this maneuver uncomfortable and even painful for the service user. The shoulder joint can easily dislocate. The service user cannot go head forward to sit down, so all 3 people end up collapsing on the bed. A drag lift up the bed can cause shearing and friction that can lead to pressure sores. The carer with both feet on the floor will twist, and having a knee on the bed can cause excessive bending. Both carers are taking the service user's weight on their arms. Good posture cannot be achieved, so the service user's head goes backwards, pushing into the pillows and preventing a good upright position. In the orthodox lift, one carer stands on each side of the service user, with one arm around the service user's back and one arm under the leg. As you can see, the carers are bent forward. The service user's weight is on their arms, and the service user's center of gravity is well away from theirs. All unsafe positioning. They now attempt to lift. The service user's weight is all to one side. The head remains low. The feet come up and the service user jackknives but doesn't move. On the second attempt, they are able to move the service user a short distance by dragging the sheet. Variation of the orthodox, also called cradle or fireman's lift, include a drag lift into a sitting position and then taking a leg each, or a drag lift into sitting position and allowing the service user to put their arms around each of the carers' necks. The carers could sustain serious neck injuries. Putting the drag and orthodox together, we get the top and tail, usually used to transfer a service user from chair to bed. One carer takes the service user through the arms from behind. The other carer takes the service user's legs on one side, both resulting in unsafe postures. The service user is then lifted over and out of the chair and carried to the bed. Because of the hold on the service user, all these people end up on the bed. Look at their postures, and you'll see how prone to injury the carers are. Next, we look at the bear hug, or the pivotal lift. Firstly, the service user's feet and knees are blocked from in front, preventing the service user from standing, even if they're normally capable of doing so. The carer's arms go around the service user's back. The service user puts their arms around the carer's neck, which can cause a serious neck injury, as the service user goes from chair to bed, swinging all their body weight from the carer's neck. Both parties are now displaying poor posture. The service user cannot lean forward to sit down. The carer cannot lean forward to release the service user, therefore they both fall onto the bed. To achieve the Carlton Hayes Flyer, or Australian lift, the carers bend from the waist to allow the service user's arms to go down their backs. The carers then stand up. The service user cannot help, so the carers take the full body weight. The service user is leaning backwards, shoulders raised and arms extended. The service user is grabbing the carer's clothing and is now expected to walk backwards. On reaching the bed, postures are again wrong to allow correct positioning, so all three fall on the bed. The Australian, or shoulder lift, is also used to take the service user up the bed. Here we have the...
Okay, guys. So, did you make a note? So, let's...
Right.
Okay. Luis, let's start with you now. Can you share one thing you noticed that was unsafe in the last video?
Yeah, the bear hug seems to be very unsafe. The lower back, the neck, shoulders, at risk if you do that. You put,
Okay.
That was my
Yes.
biggest concern.
Yeah, it's true. Everything was wrong. Okay, thank you, Luis. And you, Jamayu, could you share something with us?
Yeah, they should bend their knees and keep their back straight when lifting.
Yes, for sure. So you need to keep, the principles of manual handling that we discussed before in their minds. Yes, exactly. And you, Helpson, what you can say about these unsafe tasks?
Now I'm not sure if it was the last one, but definitely most of the videos we could notice that they were not actually focusing on the stabilize the spine, so they're bending too much. Maybe the person they were trying to support are too far away from the bed, making them to move them from like meters apart.
Yeah, was terrible. Yes, of course. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for sharing your answers. And then remember, so safe technique is about posture, positioning, and communication. Okay, keep this in your mind. So let's move on. So let's go. So let's do now a very quick activity here. I'll try to show you a few photos on the screen, the next slides. And then, guys, you need to write down in the chat here if it's safe or unsafe technique. All right? Let's start. Let's go. This one, what do you think? Maybe I can see the. So you need to write down, okay? I can't see, guys, your the chat here. Okay, now I can. Okay, Jamayo.
Should we write?
Yes. So the
Chat.
first
Oh, okay.
picture, what do you think? It's a safe or unsafe technique? All right. So Jamayo said safe, unsafe, and you have. So what do you think about this picture here? Do you think it's a safe or unsafe technique? Safe. Okay, guys, actually it's unsafe. Look the staff here, look their backs. They are in a neutral position with a good connection with their core muscles. I don't think so. So yeah, this is an unsafe technique, okay? Let's go to the next one. And this one here. What do you think? It's safe or unsafe? So let's see. Unsafe for Helpson, unsafe Jamayo, and unsafe. Actually, it's half. I can say. I think the first one, the lady with the a light blue top, she's doing well because she can know her back. It's not quite a neutral position. She's using more the hips and knees, but no, her colleagues, the back is not so great. No, she's bending too much and not using so much the knees. So I can say half, half here. Let's go to the next one. And this one here. Safe for Louis, safe for Helpson. Yes, it's safe. When you need to transfer someone from the chair to a standing position, you can use this position with the hands. One at the hips and the other one can be at the shoulder. And the back and the principles of the manual handling, I think the staff here, it's using. The next one. And this one here. Unsafe. Unsafe. Safe, Louis. And Helpson, what do you think? Safe, don't know. Okay, safe for Helpson. No, guys. To use the shoulders here to stand up from the chair is not safe, okay? Sometimes can be safe for the staff. You can see, the first guy here, it's quite doing well. The back, it's quite okay, using more hips and knees, but not good for the client, okay? We can increase the damage, the injuries in the shoulders. So it's not good. So the manual handling should be good for the staff and for the client as well, okay? Yeah, so let's go to this one here. Because someone, don't have much strength in the legs, for example, you need to use the machines. Yes, safe for Jamayo, safe for Helpson, and two staff, yes. When you need to use the machines, you usually need to use two staff, yeah, because one can take care of the client and the other one can take care of the machine. And you can see the staff here are doing well. They are applying the principles of manual handling. and the same as here, okay? Okay, guys, thank you so much for participating in this activity. So the next point here, I only close this one, and then I will share another one here. So before we finish our class today, I want to show you, when you go your platform, the Google Classroom, in the section 2, the manual handling. So you need to go to the classwork, and then you scroll down, and then you can see manual handling. So you have 3 activities here. So when you finish the class, you need to open the first one, so you can see the activity you need to do. So you need to watch a video. So the video is here in the second top, and then you can complete the assessment, okay? When you finish everything, you can complete the learning feedback, okay? And then you can keep improving our sections here with you guys. All right, so let's come back. Do you have any questions about this? It's quite simple. So
No.
guys, any questions? Sorry.
No.
No, it's okay. Okay, guys, before we finish up today, so I'd love each of you to share what one thing you learned today. You can open your microphone or type in the chat. It's up to you. You can use whatever you want. What have you learned today? You can say, yeah, Jamai, you first.
Use visual cues and take our time.
Okay, thank you. And you have, so what have you learned today?
I think to pay more attention to not use the shoulder to support a client. That's because that's something very easy to do, and might be the first option that we may think of. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not good especially for the clients. Yeah, sometimes it's good for the staff, but not for the client. So it should be good for both. Yes. And you, Luis?
Yeah, the same. Interesting to know and see the ways like bear hug or drag lift can cause injury to the staff or to the clients, shoulders, spines. Very, very good to see and learn.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for today. This for yeah. So
thanks for sharing your knowledge.
No, thank you guys for your participation, and don't forget to go to our platform, have a look in the assessment, watch the video, and when you finish everything, do your feedback, okay? And then you can keep improving our sections here. So see you again next week in our next section. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thanks, Juliana.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time.